That should be streaming now. And my mic, yep, okay, OBS is picking up my mic. Alright, welcome back to another stream. This one is going to be a quicker stream this morning. But this is going to be a quick update stream. As of about almost over an hour-ish, hour and 38 minutes ago, Helen is now is now Category 1 Hurricane Helene, which there are a guppy as this makes its way towards the Big Bend area of Florida, since this is where it's projected. At landfall, it's projected to be a Category 3 hurricane at landfall, which will be around 7 p.m. tomorrow. And as this is moving its way towards into the Gulf here, which the Gulf right now is kind of like it's really, really warm, so it gives hurricanes enough moisture to kind of sprawl up and become big like how it kind of is right now, and quickly and rapidly intensify. Now, there are a couple of things that are going to be a major risk with this hurricane, which is going to be flooding and also storm surge. Which, if I bring up a window real quick, if I can get that real quick here. See if I get the right one here. Okay, yeah, that is the right one here. Okay. So, as you can see, these are kind of the predicted rainfall totals that are be going up towards places such as North Carolina and Georgia, and also even Tennessee, which the greatest corridor will be between Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina here, with 12 to 16 inches worth of rainfall. And then also here's another graphic here, which is the excessive rainfall, which is going to be for that flooding threat as well. So you see right between Georgia, a little bit of South Carolina and North Carolina right here. Get that high risk of excessive rainfall, which is going to be causing those issues of flooding. And almost all of Georgia here is in that moderate risk of excessive rainfall. So we definitely could be seeing a lot of flash flooding with this hurricane once it does make landfall and it starts going over land as well. Now another thing as well along the coast, which is another thing we're gonna be worrying about too, which is gonna be storm surge, which currently peak storm surge along the Big Bend area, which is this area here, is kind of forecast to be 10 to 15 feet worth of storm surge, which is extremely deadly, especially if you're along the coast, because that could easily be a situation that you just don't want to be in, and you could get kind of just like washed out to sea or drown from the storm surge, especially if it's 10 to 15 feet high. Now there is I think there is another thing, if I remember correctly, that kind of shows where the exact kind of like storm surge numbers are for each areas along the coast here, if I can find that. But yeah, at the moment we are currently right now at this point in time where Hurricane Helene is. It's kind of just off the coast of Mexico here, just off the coast of Cancun in Mexico. Let me just take a look at chat here real quick. Where Category 4, I don't know how to rule Category 4. I will say for Category 4, I mean, there's a possibility that it could get to that point if it sits in the Gulf long enough, but I think for the most part, it'll be either it just straight up just Category 3 or high-end Category 3. Well, actually, I'm kind of watching my severe waters. I mean, with tropical systems, there's always a chance where you get brief spin ups, or in the case of if we go back to Barrel, which was kind of like its like almost its own thing, which had actually quite a few tornadoes that did touch down the ground, and I think there was like a couple that did reach EF3 status. So so when it comes to any severe activity, it's mostly gonna be in this kind of corridor here, because that's kind of where every type of what like in this little area here when it comes to like hurricanes, it's always this little area that kind of sits with severe weather in terms of tornadoes. Not that we couldn't get a couple brief spin ups if they kind of developed down here. So that is one thing I do want to take a look at is recon, if I can find it. Actually, I think Tropical Tidbits should have it. Yeah, aircraft recon. So hopefully, oh, there we go. So let me just make this image a little bit bigger here. So they kind of just do like these kind of like cross sections basically from kind of like the area of low pressure and kind of like the outer areas of that low pressure area. So to see it's kind of like 982, 920 over here, 949. Yeah, that looks like 990 over here, which that area of low pressure is gonna be over here. Which I know, I think if I remember correctly, I can also pull up the recon data from on here on Radar Omega 2. Although I have no idea how long it's gonna take to load because sometimes it takes some stuff on here for some reason long and really long to load. Thing is, can I find it? Also, that's another thing too. With Radar Omega 2, there is Project Mesovort, which kind of is basically like the regular Cyclone ports, but in this case with Mesovort, Project Mesovort. I've seen mostly only Vince Valti put up the cameras, whereas kind of gotta be where that greatest impact is gotta be at, which is in that Big Bend area. See what we can see right now. Because I know there's supposed to be like a. Okay, I didn't recognize the location. I know this one was used. I know this one. I remember this one. Uh, with I think it was Tropical Storm Debbie, and then Hurricane. It went for Tropical, then Hurricane, then back to Tropical with Debbie. And this one was a fisheye before. Now it's just a regular one. Don't even know what is going on here. And then I don't know if this one I think might be the new location. That one. Also, that says number 5 apparently. This one has number 3, and then this one's number 1. It's like like someone like take it or something. I don't know what's going on there. hurricane warnings were put in between Florida. I was gonna say I know along the coast areas there's storm surge. There's hurricane watch right now, and then I think oh yeah, here's the hurricane warnings up here. So I need to really differentiate my colors for my weather alerts, especially for tropical, because my hurricane warnings in tropical are way too close in color. Not gonna lie. Let me just kind of change it to that. Actually, I'm gonna just turn it to the kind of like the blue I have on my graphic real quick. Actually, that's gonna be way too close to the color of my storm surge too. Actually, let me just make my storm surge that, and then I'm gonna make my hurricane that. Okay, there we go. That should work perfectly now. Hopefully. So yeah, we got a couple of hurricane warnings that are kind of in the Panhandle, Big Bend area, and then it also kind of extends into portions of Georgia as well. Looks like as well with the hurricane warning, which is kind of where the hurricane's kind of tracking towards right now. I do want to take a look at key messages for 10 a.m. So it looks like this system is probably looks like it's got just looking at the key messages here and uh, path the path of this, which kind of makes it kind of just stall here between Tennessee, Illinois, and Indiana, and portions of Missouri and also Arkansas. Although I think if it does end up stalling in this portion here, I think it's probably gonna be ending up just like kind of sticking here for probably a couple days, probably. Ow. This hit my nose. The intensity miles, quantity, intensity miles. I was gonna say, I think I know which one you're talking about. Hold on. Try and find. I was gonna say, I know which one you're talking about. Although that's like, I think kind of an outlier though. That'd be like the worst situation. Alright. That's not it. Although, is this it? No. Why is it duplicated? Why did it duplicate? Okay. Um, there we go. That's what I wanted. Okay. There we go. So this is probably where I talk about here. So as you see, it kind of takes a lot of the models kind of take it towards a category 3, and then it kind of drops off from there. But there's that one that takes it to a category 4. But once again, I think it's still kind of a low chance that it gets to category 4, but for high-end category 3, I think a category 3 hurricane is definitely more possible with this situation right now. Category 5. Yeah, I don't. It definitely won't reach that point. Because I think it would need even. I think it would still need even a longer. It would still need a long while in the Gulf to kind of get to that point. So I'm kind of curious. Where's Tribal Tidbits? Storm, not that one. Where is satellite imagery? I forgot that Tropical Storm John, which is going on over here, which it was a hurricane, and then it made landfall, and looks like it's making landfall again. And then there's also Tropical Depression Cimarron, which I don't know which portion of. I don't know if that's in the Atlantic or. Oh no, yeah, it's over in the Atlantic over here, which is going up along the coast of Japan over here. If I just take off these real quick, hold on. Kind of see this better. See all that convection there. Oh, and Radar Omega broke itself. Nice. Or my internet, or the internet broke. My internet broke Radar Omega. I don't know. So I would use GR2 analysis, but GR2 analysis doesn't have this type of thing. So I'm pretty sure there's a way I can. I don't know if it's long wave IR or clean LWIR that has the 3D. I forget which one has the 3D on it. And there we go. And it officially, Burrito Omega officially broke itself. Whoops. Great. Yeah, just give that like 5 years to load. While we take a look at oh, as I was saying something and it loads. Let me just pull up the forecast mouse real quick. So this is, oh wow. Okay, that's taking up the entirety of the screen. That's nice. That is, how do I gotta fit, why is this not fitting on the screen? Okay, so this is kind of on a GFS right here. Okay, that's gotta do that apparently. It's gotta do what it wants with how it's stretched across my screen. So kind of see where it kind of makes that motion going like that, and kind of going towards the Big Bend of Florida, and then it kind of stalls out there, and then just basically dies out. And and then this, as you go farther out, it GFS just starts losing itself. Like apparently, like how many hours is this? Over 250 hours out, and it's already forecasting another system. EPS. Where's Hurricane? Let's just say because there's specifically models for hurricanes here, so you can kind of see where. So this is like now. You can kind of see where all these are kind of taking it towards like the same way that the GFS is basically. But I accidentally muted myself. Uh, so I'm looking at the one at the other tropical disturbance, which is out here. If I just turn on, where is main development region? I think that's where it's at. This one is that next kind of like tropical wave that's trying to develop into something. We'll see if it actually even develops into something. Right now, it doesn't seem like much at the moment. Oh, here we go. This is the one the LWIR. That's the one I wanted the 3D on. Okay, there we go. So you can kind of see low pressure is gonna be area of low pressure is gonna be down in this area here somewhere. You see it's you can see it trying to organize more as it's going through the Gulf. Oh, long wave IR as well can do it. Okay. Oh, that's why I couldn't do it on the other one because it wasn't specified to it was specified to a whole like region instead of like Hurricane Helene itself. No wonder why. Looking for a 3D, and that's why I couldn't do the 3D. As I open up YouTube on my phone, and the first thing is the YouTube Shorts. That's always great. Let's see if we got any updates at the moment on Helene here. Which I don't think there is quite yet right now because the last update was at like 11 a.m. So right now the minimal pressure 979 millibars, max sustained winds 80 miles per hour. Moving northwest at 10 miles per hour. So this is moving. So this is kind of a slow moving system. Although it is kind of, I think it is a slight. It seems like it's maybe moving slightly faster than Debbie, but it doesn't seem like it's moving much faster at all. Public advisory. So that's the one from 10 a.m. Which I think that's it. I think the next one. I don't know when the next recon mission is at. So this would be my third time doing a live stream on Tropical System. I think that when it comes to any impacts with this system, I think the biggest impact is probably be definitely storm surge for sure. And then when it comes to Big Bend, and then afterwards, after it makes landfall, it's definitely gonna be flooding. So storm surge and flooding are gonna be two of the biggest concerns. I mean, the wind's gonna be there, of course, as usual, but main concerns flooding and storm surge. So I'm looking at the kind of this data right now as well from the 10 a.m. run, and looks like that there's like a little bit of because everything else is like tropical storm wind. Actually, let's turn on this again here. So you got that little pocket of right here of hurricane force winds, and then everything outside of that is tropical storm. think that just turned on. I think that just turned on vapor, water vapor. I think. Yeah, it did. There's also another disturbance, which is just south of like southeast of Nova Scotia. 10% chance of cyclone formation. So I do want to take a look at that one, which honestly there's probably nothing that's even going to happen with that one at all, honestly. So because it has 10%, but I don't see that one turning into anything anytime soon. Well, this and Great Omega taking like 9 years to load everything. At least they'll load Hurricane Helene at least because that is gonna be the main focus for the stream as well. So that is one thing I do want to take as well. Where is water vapor? Because how much dry? I want to know how much dry air is in this area. Because dry air is one thing that can affect the development of hurricanes. That's the upper level, maybe the lower level. I mean, down here it looks like that dry air. The dry air is trying to come in from down here. It looks like, but for the most part, the only area that looks like it's kind of struggling is up here with dry air. But otherwise, compared to Debbie, doesn't look like it's really fighting with dry air as much. Hurricane surveillance and Carbon Coast. Florida, we went done with the hurricane warning in the Florida area was northern area where the system will pass. Well, there are hurricane warnings, which is in this portion of Florida here, which is also known as the Big Bend area, basically. And then this is kind of like the Panhandle area. Because a lot of the hurricane warnings are kind of where that greatest impact is going to be at for Hurricane Helen once it does make landfall tomorrow, around 7-ish, 7, 8 o'clock-ish tomorrow. So currently just trying to find where. I don't know. Okay. Oh, that's why, because it's already open. No wonder why I couldn't open it. So this is the one mission from earlier, from an hour ago, looks like. I don't know what these ones are. So it looks like there was another mission that came from, looks like the Air Force Base out of, looks like Keeser Air Force Base in Alabama, looks like. So it looks like this probably be our second uh, recon mission soon. That's going to be coming out of here in a second, looks like. I am probably gonna get some water in a second. I'm trying to figure out where exactly where the center is. Cause it's kinda all over. Hurricane, hurricanes. So I was gonna say whatever model has category 5 is most likely just an outlier. I don't really see a category 5 coming out of this system. If there is, it'd be the lowest chance ever. Also, compared to yesterday too, Fort Lauderdale is now this portion of Florida here is now under tropical storm warning compared to what it was yesterday, which it wasn't under tropical storm warning yesterday. Do have a special marine warning. Also along here as well, their storm surge is supposed to be forecasted 1 to 3 feet. Also, that other mesovort is now offline. Oh no, it's still here. So who's moving? I guess we'll see what comes out of this in a second with because the plane's here. So it's probably gotta make one more cross section here. Probably. And then it'll probably go back to base, and then we'll probably get an update in a couple minutes here. Unless we did just get an update just now. Now, okay, so still got probably maybe an hour-ish till we get the next update. Probably. 11 a.m., 5 p.m. 5 a.m., 11 a.m., 5 p.m., 11 p.m. So I'm probably just gotta wait another hour to see if anything does update on the National Hurricane site. See if anything does change. Center Hurricane Helene was located near 1.6 north, longitude 86.3 west. Helene is moving towards the north-northwest at 10 miles per hour. Turn towards the north and northeast with an increase in forward speed is expected later today through Thursday, bringing the center of Helene across the eastern Gulf and to Florida Big Bend coast by Thursday evening. After landfall, Helene is expected to slow down and turn towards the northwest over the southeastern United States Friday and Saturday. NOAA and Air Force Okay, maximum sustained winds 80 mph with higher gusts. Additional strengthening is forecasted, and Helene is expected to be a major hurricane when it reaches the Florida Big Bend coast Thursday evening. Weakening, of course, expected after landfall. Helene's fast forward will allow strong damaging winds, especially in gusts, to penetrate well inland across the southeastern United States. So it looks like when it comes to inland, wind will be the biggest. Inland will be having the biggest concern of wind. It looks like flooding is still gonna be a concern as well, of course, as this is you gotta be bringing a lot of rain to portions of Florida, Georgia, and even Alabama for that matter as well, actually. And of course, when it makes its kind of like north uh, west motion towards up here. Next intermediate advisory, 1 o'clock. Next complete advisory, 4 o'clock. So we got like about another hour till the next update looks like for the intermediate update on Hurricane Helene, which is probably gonna be that other recon mission that we just saw just now coming out of Alabama. Oh, that's kind of interesting right there. Where was what the okay there? No, that's not it. Where was it? Ensemble. Okay. UPS. Okay, there we go. So let me just bring this to there. Window capture. Oh, it is right on the right one. Nice. Okay, cool. I was expecting this to not be on the right window or anything, but okay, it decided to want to be on the right window. Okay, so this is kind of where kind of like Hurricane Helene is right now. As Hurricane Helene kind of okay, that was a giant jump. So this is kind of like as Hurricane Helene kind of makes landfall there, and you kind of see another low pressure right there, and then they kind of I forgot what the specifics of what it's called, but I don't think it's called the Fujiwara effect, but you got two low pressures, and then they kind of combine into one, and then kind of see it just kind of dies out afterwards while being inland there. 'Cause that right there is clearly a trough right there. Once again, it's a very low chance that it'll reach that category, and it's not forecast. It's not really forecasted to be from the National Hurricane Center itself, is that really forecasted to get that to that category at all? Looks to be it's gonna be more or less either a category 3 or like either a low to high end category 3, and that's about it. As of 10 a.m., as of 10 a.m. It's still forecast to be a major hurricane at landfall around 7 p.m. Thursday, which is tomorrow, and then as it makes its way into the landfall, goes into a tropical storm, and then turns into a tropical depression, and then kind of dies out. And I think that's the Ozarks there, where Tennessee and Kentucky is at. I don't know. Category 4. I don't think I'll reach to that point either. Because, I mean, it would still have to kind of, depending on where the area of low pressure is at, it would still have to fend off kind of like any land. Although, I don't think it's really going to have that much of an issue with land. But for the most part, it's most likely just going to be Category 3 for sure. If it does get to the point of Category 4, it would definitely have to filter out more of dry air. Why you said it was going to rain hard per code. Brain mile. I think this just broke again. Okay, apparently the water vapor doesn't want to work properly. Well, I guess I'll give that a couple minutes to kind of load for a second here. From Perk, we went to know it's going to rain hard because they say it's going to rain. Uh, to be honest, I would not know of any type of like weather forecast going for Puerto Rico. There's a lot of information I know it comes from just like mainland U.S. Everything going on in mainland U.S. On KA's Doppler TV channel in Puerto Rico. Air saves raining hard in Puerto Rico because heavy rain is developing. I said, I'm not familiar with that TV station, but so I'm kind of just looking at the National Weather Service site for San Juan, and I mean, it looks like maybe a couple like heavy showers and whatnot. Maybe a couple scheduled storms in the mix as well there. So on a 10 a.m. update for Hurricane Helene, minimum pressure 979, max sustained winds at 80. Take a look at the wind speed probabilities as well. So it looks like once again with that landfall with Hurricane Helene, once it makes that landfall in Big Bend area of Florida, a lot of the stronger winds is gonna be focused towards in here. Looks like. Where is the storm surge? That's not it. That's wait, is this the oh this is okay. I finally found the map that I was looking for earlier. Uh for storm surge where it has like the specific areas. Hopefully I have the right one on this one. Okay, there we go. That is the correct one here. So I can kind of oh, that's not the right tab. So you can kind of see with this is like the more like specific location for storm surge. So you can kind of see the more red areas where along the Big Bend area where that 12 to 15 feet of storm surge is at. And then down when you get down towards here, the storm surge numbers are way less, of course. Of course, near Big Bend, it's a lot higher because that's where Helena is supposed to be making landfall. Look at that little pocket of area there for hurricane force winds. Tropical storm winds outside of that. Let me just turn off the fast track there. Actually, I might just keep this on real quick here. Keep that on. So the center of low pressure is most likely to be in here somewhere. Where's tropical tidbits? I think I closed that tab out. Oh no, it's right here. So I wish I had a third monitor with me right now, so I can have a third monitor for everything else. Oh wow. So I'm looking at also for Storm Prediction Center for tomorrow. Whoa, that's for tomorrow. 10% uh for tomorrow, because today is just has that marginal risk. Tomorrow when Looks like when Helene does make that landfall. So let me just turn on the category outlooks on here. So you can kind of see where their marginal areas are, where it's going along here and here. And then tomorrow, they got that enhanced risk right there, which is going to be mostly for that tornado risk. Of course, there's no hail risk because generally you aren't gonna get hail with tropical systems. You with wind risk with wind, of course, you're gonna get that risk, of course. But tornado risk is at 10%, so we could possibly be seeing probably multiple brief spin-ups tomorrow. Looks like possibly once this does make landfall. Which means tomorrow is probably gonna be a long day of streaming, probably. 2% tornado risk at the moment along here, which I really don't see that 2% tornado risk uh, really for like coming out today at all. Which a lot of that 2% probably is just coming from just, well, Hurricane Helen, but just Hurricane Helen is not supposed to be still Hurricane Helen's forecast to start making its way up towards Florida. Looks like around probably tonight into tomorrow morning, and then of course into tomorrow evening. Alright, I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick, everybody, and yeah. Well, my not only did I manage to hit my knee twice getting back to my desk, and my headset also turned off while in the process after getting back to my desk as well. That's amazing. Because it's kind of rainy afternoon. I was gonna say we are in the afternoon hours now, because because I'm in Central Time, so it's like 12:35 p.m. right now. Eastern Time 1:35. I don't know what time zone Puerto Rico is in. I imagine Eastern Time as well. But I imagine you guys have been also getting quite a bit of rain over the past couple days as well, especially with that excessive rainfall outlook that was released for Puerto Rico. It looks like this is actually updating live, actually, and not being slow like it has. Okay, that whatever it just did just now is like was being a little bit weird. Kind of see where the area is where it's kind of not really a whole lot of like convection. Looks like it's probably still trying to fight off dry air. It looks like probably. Let me go to if it'll load the water vapor so we can see where the dry air is. Maybe. Yeah. Okay. Just time to give it a few moments to load again because it's Radio Omega on this internet for some reason. I say my internet at home is way better for everything. Yeah, just give it like 15 minutes to load, probably. Or I could just not load at all. Okay, let me just refresh Radar Omega real quick, actually, see if that'll help. I don't know if it'll will. I don't know if it will. Is that I don't know if it will, but probably not. No, of course not. Dang it. Unless there's gotta be another way I can try and show where that dry area is at. College, I think college page actually has a. Yeah, I could actually use a college page actually. Not to think of it, so you can actually see where this is where drier air is at. So let me just kind of satellite and radar. So this is COD's website here. It's a pretty good website for a lot of things. So you can kind of see where that dry air is around Hurricane Ellen, and it's a lot of moisture and convection in this area here, of course, because Hurricane Helen is strengthening. Maybe a little bit of fighting with dry air down here, but overall, Helen seems to be holding up in strength. Oh wow, and Radar Omega finally decided to load after 9 years. Oh wow. Okay, so the name actually shows what I was talking about earlier actually really well. So let me just get that up real quick here, if I can find it. All right, there we go. So that's not the right tab. Okay, there we go. So we see where that trough it kind of starts dipping down, and then kind of see where Hurricane Helen kind of starts peaking up right there on here, and then Hurricane Helen makes its way, and then the two low pressures kind of combine right there, and then that's kind of where it's got to start to stall out there, probably for a couple days. Probably bring a lot of rain as it stalls. So I am curious how much rainfall that will be accumulated over the period of time. Let me get pivotal weather real quick here. Actually, this might not be the right model here to try and H triple R. That could do it a lot better. Total. Okay, there we go. That's what I was looking for earlier. All right, so this is what's kind of forecasted right now. Let me just expand this up a little bit here. So I can kind of see where Hurricane Helen starts peeking in with the rainfall totals there. As Helen starts making its way towards the north, it's like almost like 8 or more inches of rain accumulated, looks like. And then as it makes landfall, kind of see it making its way towards this way. So I'm curious to see. No, I don't want the sounding. Looks like 4 more inches around in this area. 48 inches of accumulated rainfall for the Big Bend area there, which is where the eye should be making landfall there. So I'm gonna see. All right, I'm gonna go see if we have any updates quite yet on if there's anything quite yet. Okay, still on the 10 a.m. update, so we probably will get an update in next, well, less than 20 minutes at this point now. Oh, ow! I stretched wrong. Oh. So just looking at the north side of Hurricane Helene, and that dry, I say, I think that the dry air to the north is definitely gonna be an issue for it. So we're almost at the point where it's forecasted to strengthen to a category 2. Although we'll have to see in the next update, see how and where and how and when it's gotta be strengthening. See if we have any new recon from Tropical Tidbits here, which is probably still just like everything else, still on the 10 a.m. Update, most likely. Type unknown, status in progress. $797 with one portion of the storm, which is like around over here. 979 over here, 981 over here. Actually, two over here is like 91, and over here is like 979. So it looks like we are still dropping pressure, it looks like, with this. Which 979 is that minimum pressure that I was talking about earlier. And my headset is about to die. Alright, I just switched out the battery on my headset, so now I should be good to go for the next couple minutes here. Not couple minutes, but next couple hours actually. Alright, still on the 10 a.m. update. Still waiting for the next update, which will probably be at like 1 o'clock. 11 minutes ago. So this is the recon mission that came out of this is a recon plane that just came out of Alabama, so I'll probably have like another, actually more than like 20 minutes on this till it gets back and get the recon mission data. Looks like we do have some recon data from Tropical Storm John over here. A little bit interesting. Although for some reason I can't kind of scroll down onto that, so I guess we'll be waiting a little bit until the next recon update to see exactly where the center pressure is at and see if this is drop pressure or not. Because this is forecasted to be around 7 o'clock today, a category 2. And this is also moving northeast at about 10 miles per hour at the moment. So we'll have to see if it's moving any faster, what the pressure is at. See if we get any updates when it comes to storm surge and rainfall potential, and also flash flooding potential as well. See if that changes any, if any. Wednesday. Oh, there was a Wednesday 11 a.m. update apparently. And that disturbance 2 now has 20%, and the other one, disturbance 1, is I think still at 80. Curious on what the spaghetti miles look like for that one. This still has this track going towards the more west west area. The Big Bend area looks like at around 7 p.m. It looks like still. Oh, there we go. 1 p.m. update. There we go. So this has actually gone 1 millibar up in pressure, it looks like. The minimum pressure is now 980. So it looks like it has weakened a little bit, which is probably due to the drier air that's coming from the north of this. See if anything has changed. Still got the 10 to 15 feet along the Big Bend area for storm surge, rainfall potential, still kind of the same. Flash flooding potential, still the same. Although it looks like that area of hurricane force winds is starting to get a little bit bigger than it was earlier. It looks like same thing with this portion here. So this is still strengthening. It's only dropped down a little bit with pressure. Max sustained winds are still at 80. And it's still moving north northwest at actually it's moving north northwest at 10 miles per hour, not north northeast. Although it is still that is currently where it's moving. Tomorrow it should be into tonight into tomorrow it should be moving towards the north northeast. Still waiting on everything else at the moment in terms of updates. Because the key messages is still on the 10 a.m. Update from well almost 2-ish hours at this point, 3-ish hours at this point with the last update from the key messages. Same thing with the public advisory. Model guidance is still on a 12Z. Actually, there's 18Z, which on the 18Z, yeah, just on the 18Z, a lot of the models are pointed towards a lower end Category 3. Let me just get that up real quick. Now, of course, it's just model guide. It's not an official forecast. But as you can see on the 18Z, a lot of this is kind of focusing, a lot of the models are kind of focusing this towards a lower end Category 3, and then kind of dropping off. Or, well, actually, there's actually only a couple that go to a low end Category 3, and then most of them go to a Category 2. Which is, where is, oh, that's where all is. Let me just turn out the Hurricane Hunter stuff too. So I just turn on 3D view so you can see where all that lower level water vapor is at. And kind of see it, kind of interesting seeing how it kind of spins on radar too. Just turn it back to 3D there. Or actually, let me just put this to the side, like to the side here, so you can kind of see like a side view of this lower level water vapor. Let's see, anything different other than the minimum pressure. Not a whole lot's changed. It looks like so far. Still at 80 mile per hour max sustained winds, and minimum pressure at 980 millibars. And moving northwest at 10 miles per hour. Wind gust. No, wind gust. It's moving northwest at 10 miles per hour. So let's take a look at the categorical, which honestly the categorical outlook for tornado risk for today I feel like is it's definitely a lot. It's definitely really low at the moment, especially since Hurricane Helene is down here at the moment. But as it makes its way up towards the north here, we'll probably see more brief spin ups along in Florida, and then where it's kind of forecast tomorrow with an enhanced area between Georgia and South Carolina, uh, where we got that 10% tornado risk. So we probably could be seeing tomorrow quite a few brief spin ups if that's the case. Let me just get over to the significant tornado parameters real quick on pivotal weather so I can take a look at where is it? Significant tornado parameters. So that's on his 17Z, which is not complete. So it looks like as we go into tonight, looks like maybe quite a little bit of areas like along this area over here in Florida. Looks like there's a chance that we could be seeing some tornadoes in that portion there. Just let me just turn back on the window capture for the weather here. I think this is that the right one? No, that's not the right one. Is this one the right one? Okay, this is the right one. Okay. On the NAM here, which for Hurricane's NAM is not the best model for this, but the NAM 3 here's a NAM 3K. Kind of see where the significant tornado parameters are throughout for Thursday. 00, so that's like midnight there, and that makes its way up. So like looks like around morning hours. It looks like it's gonna be probably it looks like to be the greatest threat in the morning hours, morning to like late morning to mid afternoon hours. Looks like how is how and where is okay, so the aircraft is right there. Still make its way back. So we'll probably still be waiting a little while for like a full update probably. If anything does end up changing at all. Yeah, it's definitely still trying to fight off that drier air that's around it right now. Although closer to the center, it's definitely managed to at least close off most of the drier air. Just that northern portion that's struggling with it. Okay, so Helene is moving into the southeastern Gulf here. So preparations to protect life and property from storm surge and damaging winds along with the Florida Big Bend coast should be rushed to completion today. So there's a 10 a, so from 10 a.m. it looks like well, this is definitely moved out of that area because it was between Cuba and Cancun over here earlier. Now it's kind of moved away from the area, so we should be starting to see this starting to intensify a lot more as this is in the Gulf. Although the only problem it has is going to be trying to fight off that drier air towards the northern portion of the storm over here. Also, apparently there is a mesovort over in Louisiana, apparently. So I guess that's this is where they were taking that mesovort, apparently, looks like. Which I'm kind of surprised, because a lot of that impact is gonna be up in here, but I guess they kind of moved it somewhere probably be better, probably. I'm not sure. This was still here, of course. Very cloudy, of course. This cam, which I'm surprised there's no fisheye cam like last time. So this looks like one of those like wildlife parks or something, like a wildlife reserve or something like that. Which I would not be surprised if that's exactly what we're looking at. Unless that's just generally how the area looks like. Well, there is a wildlife management area over here. To be honest, I've never been to Louisiana before. Although I have covered it multiple. What is going on there? So someone's just someone's just someone's just moving it. So someone's readjusting the camera angle. Also, it's kind of interesting position where it's on a ledge. Also, if that person can move it that easily, I feel like unless it's like strapped down, I'm not sure. What is being thrown? What is going on? I'm so confused of what's going on in that area, on that mesovort. Alright, what's Vince Balti? What is my ears? Okay, so it looks like we're just looking at a because I keep forgetting that houses are like this in Florida and all that. You can see the air duct underneath the house there, which I guess makes sense because I mean it is a raised house on I don't know what they call that. It's like pillars. Okay, so the HRRR is now I'm actually able to view. Well, the 17Z is still taking its time, so we can look at the 16Z for the HRRR, or maybe not actually. That Okay, that is the weirdest looking thing I've ever seen on the HRRR. Hold on, let me just like pop out the window real quick. So this is what it looks like on the 16Z, which generally you're not gonna look at any of the other Zs besides like 12Z or 18Z. And it's like, what is going on here? This is like if dry air completely like diminished everything else around the hurricane area. The center of low pressure for the hurricane. Okay, and then on 12Z. And at 12Z it looks a lot more normal. And kind of see it making its way up. So 00Z. So this is gonna be around that 6 o'clock time. And it makes its way up. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it looks like, so I'm not sure what time I'll be streaming tomorrow. I imagine I'll be streaming around like probably like maybe 5 o'clock. We'll see. It depends on what time and where this the eye kind of sits at. But I think for the most part, I think that'll be good for this stream for, well, just like mid mid afternoon, like mid afternoon stream. I'll see you guys probably tomorrow, probably. I don't know if I'll do a stream later today or not, but tomorrow for sure I'll probably be streaming again, since that is when Hurricane Helene is set to make landfall.